Welcome to another episode of the Back Catalogue podcast. This is the podcast where we, and by we I mean me, Apple, my co-host / co-founder Vincent. We dive into the streaming service. We tell you, the listener.
I'm not recording. What the hell? Why is it not recording? I pressed it. 100% pressed it.
You do dumb stuff, man.
I do dumb stuff.
Because like that's midway through my intro.
Anyway, the listener.
And the viewer. What is worth it and what is not. Now, as you can see, it's a formal day here.
It's a formal day. That's right.
It's AFL grand final day and we wanted to dress up for the occasion.
Yeah, so I'm wearing the colours of...
that respective team, and I'm wearing the colours of the other respective team.
That's right.
I mean, I know who he's playing, but you don't, I'm assuming.
Geelong is playing because I saw some dude had a banner on their house and I ripped it down, bro. So get the hell out of my streets.
Well, we don't mess around with Victorians over here on the Back Catalogue podcast where we don't mess around with Victorians.
That's right.
But yeah, and the Sydney Swans.
And the Sydney Swans.
So, from the Back Catalogue to you, good luck to all those who are playing.
Yeah.
And by the time this comes out, the game will be finished.
So congratulations to the victor.
And that's Victor Ramon as well. But here we go, Vincent. Today we are doing 2022's very own Thor, Love and Thunder. Now, this is an action-adventure film that we found on Disney+.
That's
we
right.
found it on Disney+.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone else could find it because it's in the depths.
They've literally hidden it because they're like, we don't want people to watch this.
That's what we do, yeah, because it's trash.
Let's talk about just some of the key things here, like the 6.4 out of 10s on the IMDb's, 64% on the Rotten Tomatoes, which, that's equal. That's percentage-wise, that's equal.
Percentage-wise, that's equal.
This had a budget of $250 million, and it made $759.7 million. So, in regards to all the big superhero movies that have come out in recent times, this one was not as, or didn't perform as well as previous ones have.
No, still decent ROIs.
Still decent ROIs, but if you dot some T's and dot some I's as well.
If you just dot everything.
If you just dot everything, you'll realise that they probably didn't make as much money as they were hoping.
No, especially considering the amount of heads that they had in this movie.
Well, $250 million budget as well is based on what it took to make the actual movie, right? Pay the actors, sets, whatever, all that kind of stuff.
Pay the dude that's catering.
But advertisements and things in the lead up are not necessarily represented in that budget.
See, I don't understand how, because you say, you double that budget.
You're looking like Neo from the Matrix right now. This is so dark, but now it's lit up a bit. There we go. You still look like Neo from the Matrix.
Take the blue pill and stay where you are right now. Take the red pill and see how far the Back Catalogue goes.
We got episodes, man. So it
Bro,
goes
we
far.
got episodes, and that is a rabbit hole.
That is a rabbit hole. You don't want to go down it as well,
especially if you go from the newest to the oldest, because they'll just get progressively worse.
I think we become more insane, as we go down the depths of the Back Catalogue.
In saying that, last week's episode was pretty wild.
They're all wild.
They're all wild.
We're in jackets, we look suave, but last week you were wearing a Christmas shirt.
Yeah, but it was the most wonderful time of the year.
It was, that's true. I forgot about that. But yeah, Vincent, so you were saying something about budgets and box offices.
I was just saying, they say that it's about double when you talk about marketing as well.
It could, I don't know how much they would add on extra, but I'm assuming, especially Marvel and Disney, they'd put a lot of money into their marketing.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that should be some sort of metric that they put somewhere. Because why do they put the budget of the film? Is that like a legal responsibility? No,
I think that's more so. Well, you know what? I'm speaking out of my booty hole right now, but I think it's more so to be like, we had this and we made this. This is big Hollywood.
We only had $250 million.
Yeah.
And look what we made.
Which is a lot of money. I think I said the Batman was pretty close to that. The Batman was $200 million. That's $50 million less. And $50 million goes a long way.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Because, in terms of my wage, you'd cover me in $50 million.
Oh, yeah, but just though.
Yeah, but I'm saying you would cover me.
Look at the suit that you're wearing. That's I don't know how much it is, but it's expensive. It's exclusive and it's expensive.
Bro, it's I'm looking at the price tag. I still got the price tag on because suits like the hats. You got to keep the price tag on. You got to keep all the thing.
The stickers.
Bro, it's expensive.
Yeah, we got sirens going on out there. But Vincent, should we get into this movie? Now, there's a couple of things that I want to specifically talk about, and really what I want to focus on is two things in particular. The first half of the movie and the back half of the movie. And there's reasons why I want to talk about those parts in particular. I want to focus on...
You're also going to have to tell me where it cuts off.
I will tell you the exact point. I also want to talk about Christian Bale's very own Christian Bale.
Yeah, Christian Bale.
Because Mans is the titular... he's not the titular because he's not Love or Thunder.
No, he's the God Butcher.
He's the God Butcher.
Which is what a name.
I mean, if you're going to be called something and you're evil, it's going to be the butcher of something, right? And in this case, it's God, so that's like next level. You got phone calls coming.
I got phone calls from Mick.
Do you need to take this?
No, I don't need to take this.
Okay. But we are also just going to talk about the hits and the misses. Because, I mean, in regards to the grand scheme of what is going on in this universe and in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, for example, I don't think there's much exciting that's come from this specific film.
It doesn't really open up anything?
No. But it might. But we'll talk about that at the very end.
Okay.
And you have to go to the very end. We may not talk about it, but it will be there. It will be there somewhere. We might have to put it in post. But Vincent, I want to tell you about the first half of this movie first.
Okay.
I was not a big fan of the first half of this movie.
So where are we cutting off the first half?
I'm cutting it off at the end, at the midway point through when they meet Zeus.
So when they're in the
tomb of the place of gods.
Omnipotency.
Yeah, Omnipotency.
Which is one of the worst names for a place.
I mean, it's omnipotent though.
I know, but that's not a nice word.
I mean, it is.
Omnipotent.
In the grand scheme of words, that's one of the nicer ones.
No, I don't think it is.
I mean, we got it out the dictionary. If we went through every single word, we got to O, specifically omnipotent, we might be like 90% of these words weren't as good as omnipotent was.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's not something that rolls off the tongue very nicely, and omnipotency is not a nice name for a place.
Yeah. Now, what is the definition of omnipotency?
That's just like you can do anything.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Which, I mean, is relevant because they're gods and they do everything.
That's right. I think it's something like that. I could look it up, but I'm not going to do that.
But that's my midway point of this movie.
Okay. When they kill Zeus? Spoilers for a review.
This is spoilers. This is
spoilers for this review.
I mean, Mans doesn't die anyway. But
no, I know. But when they shoot the lightning bolt through his heart?
Yeah. That part.
Did that just disrespect the hell out of you, Russell Crowe doing like Greek accents?
Well, I was like, maybe this man's is like, maybe he is ethnic. Maybe there's some ethnicity about this man. And I was searching up, I could not find any ethnicity. So it turns out he was trying to do Con the Fruiterer. Which is Con the Fruiterer, which there was a show. I don't know what the show was.
Con the Fruiterer.
Con the Fruiterer.
Like Con's Fresh Fruits.
Like Con's Fresh Fruits, but he's like he is the fruiterer. He's the titular Con.
That's wild.
There was this character back in the day. I can't remember what the show was because I didn't watch it, but my parents have watched it, and individuals that I know have dressed up as them for parties. But Con the Fruiterer was a fruiterer who was he would speak in a very ethnic accent like what Russell Crowe was doing in this film. I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. But it was like back in the day.
When you said Con the Fruiterer, I was thinking like, wherever Russell Crowe grew up, there was a fruiterer down the road called Con, and he was just trying to do him because he came to this country with just the clothes on his back.
Well,
and now he's a fruiterer.
So it's the comedy company apparently.
Okay,
that's what this thing is called.
It's a show.
Yeah. And apparently what does Con the Fruiterer say? He says, couple of days, he says, beautiful, and he says, doesn't matter. Like, that's some of his famous quotes, right? Did I feel disrespected by it? Not necessarily. Because, I mean...
I don't really...
it's not that, it's not like it's taken us back generations and we're stuck in the Stone Age now because this man dressed up as Zeus and then started speaking like a ethnic person.
Yeah, I don't care. Anyone can do an ethnic accent, just as long as they do it well.
And he didn't really do it well. That's the only issue.
He didn't do it too badly.
Yeah, but he started off, I thought he was Russian.
Yeah.
And then I thought he was New Zealand, which he is New Zealander.
You know who they should have got to do it?
Me.
No. Okay, give me your Greek accent. Do it.
Hey, come on, bro.
That's like Greek from the suburbs of Melbourne.
But how funny would that be if Zeus was like,
Hey, that's killer, bro. Are you serious, bro? Look at this lightning bolt.
all right. How you say for this, you do for me.
That's
know?
killer.
That's
That's
killer,
that's
right?
the one. That's the one. Now they should have got Giannis Antetokounmpo to do it.
Dude, if they got Giannis Antetokounmpo
He's got
to do
such an awesome Greek accent.
if Giannis was Zeus in this universe,
Oh man,
that would break the internet.
honestly, he'd go down as the GOAT for sure. Because
Well, I mean, yeah, he's on his way, isn't he?
because MJ did Space Jam, but he didn't have to play Zeus.
He didn't have to play Zeus.
Like if Giannis is out there, Zeus, and he's got a white beard, but he's still got his fresh as haircut.
Dude, they missed an opportunity, and this is why, again, we've said it once.
And he's already had his acting debut.
What did he do? His acting debut.
He was in a movie where him and his family were acting as refugees.
Oh, for real?
I can't remember exactly what it is, but he was definitely in a movie.
Wow.
It was like minor role. He said one thing and then that was it. And they were like, bro, go dominate the NBA for a few years, all right?
Dude. Have you seen him do like puns and jokes and things?
Oh, man. He is the most hilarious guy.
Especially the French Montana one, which you need to search it up. Like we're not gonna disrespect his name by
You need
doing
to
his
search that
jokes.
up. Yeah, that's right. I just like the ones where he tells the joke. He's at with the microphone. He tells the joke and he just runs away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are you going to do? That's mic drop sort of
Yeah.
business.
So that's like, it can't go further than a 5 out of 10, this movie,
Because
of that. Yeah.
I mean, if they had Giannis, that's a 10.
That's a 10.
That's a 10. Because like he is the GOAT, really.
Realistically.
If that happens, he's the GOAT. So Marvel, you really need to think about who you want in your movies, right? But anyway, Russell Crowe was fine, and like that part was fine.
Whatever.
But anyway, that's where I say is the midpoint of this movie. We should probably do a bit of a synopsis of what this movie is.
What is this movie, bro?
So there's lots going on.
This is one of the only movies where I have been overwhelmed by the amount of things happening.
Well, because there's 3 different plots going on at once.
But I mean, that was what happened that's happened before in movies.
Yeah, but there's 3 different diverging plots. Like the other plots I feel are more diverging than this. I think at the end it wraps it up okay.
Diverging as in they're going away from each other.
Yeah, I should have said converging.
You meant
plots.
converging, yeah.
But these ones are diverging plots because they just seem very separate. But then when they come at the end, when it eventually gets to the end, you realize that the whole story is about, this is just about love.
Yeah.
This is a whole story about love. Here's what I'm going to say though about the plots. This movie was cut down tremendously, and I'll tell you about in time in regards to time.
This was a movie that didn't go for that long. It was less than 2 hours. It was
I
like
think
1 hour
it's
40.
one of the shortest Marvel movies that has been made to this date.
But it felt like it went for ages.
Yeah, I definitely watched it in parts,
Yeah.
pieces,
Like puzzles,
Like
if you will.
I'm talking about like the Ultra Tune guy, Is that the kid?
I don't know.
Remember the kid who's like, alligator came up the drain pipe, bit me into parts, pieces.
I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen that?
No. Is that a classic advertisement?
Sometimes I forget that you grew up here because you'd be saying I haven't seen that. Like you grew up in this state and you didn't see the bit me
Yeah,
into
but
parts
also remember
pieces.
I was not allowed to watch TV.
That's true. You were just watching Snow White. So you just got to school and people were saying like, bit me into parts, pieces, and everyone's like laughing. You're like, yeah, man, that's funny to me as well because I get the context. I understand the context, And everyone's like, Vincent, you don't have to explain that you understand the context. Yeah, but I want you to know that I understand the
I
context.
just wanted to make it clear that I understand the context.
Hey, but how about them 7 dwarfs though? Huh? Hey? Anyone?
Oh, you guys don't get the context?
I'm just going to quickly search up, is this the shortest Marvel movie? So what I want to say about these plots is that I feel that some of them need to be extended. So there's
None
one
of them were that good.
Well, I think that the one about, if this was just a Jane Foster movie,
Oh, bro, that was the best part for sure.
right? But there was not enough time given to that part. So the plot of that is that Jane Foster, who was in the Thor 1 and 2, one of the greatest characters in the MCU, I would say, because it's Natalie Portman's very own.
Yeah.
She has stage 4 cancer, and Mjolnir calls to her, and she's able to become the mighty Thor.
Or Dr. Jane Foster.
Or Dr. Jane Foster.
That was a great part of the movie.
Yeah. So,
Oh man.
so essentially, she's able to live a little bit longer through the becoming the mighty Thor and wielding Mjolnir. But as the story progresses, she's getting worse and worse.
She's not. I don't think
she's going to die anyway, right?
Yeah, I was just about to say, technically not, but who the hell cares?
But this is given like 5 minutes of
Yeah.
So there's a scene at the start where it's her. She's going through chemo. She's talking to a dude about Interstellar.
And being like, hey, bro, this is how you explain it. Let me just desecrate your book. But it's okay because I wrote it.
And then there's another scene in which Thor and her talk about the fact that she has cancer. And that scene is way too short, and there's too many jokes thrown in the middle, right? I think that if this movie was extended slightly, and maybe if that was the focus, like just them together from the start doing Thor things, doesn't have to be anything major, but doing Thor things and, building their relationship, that would have been a better movie. And then you look at the Gore the God Butcher. And
Is his name Gore?
Gore, yeah, Gore.
Gore. I mean, he's born for it.
He's born for it, right? If you see that guy, and if you just gave him his whole movie, like Mans goes through and he kills about 17 gods before
Do you see how big some of them were?
And you don't see any of it. Yeah. Imagine if there was 45 minutes of Gore doing Gore things.
See, I don't think you needed that.
I think that would have been amazing.
Yeah, I'm saying, but in terms of because the movie was about, essentially the movie was about love.
No, it was, yeah.
That was the core of the movie. You didn't need Gore the God Butcher ripping the hearts out of people and being like, where is the love now? Stuff like that, I think for Gore's story specifically, but I can't believe his name is Gore. That's wild. That's Gore the God Butcher. He was a cool character. Very cool character. Yeah. Like, dude just dips out the shadows.
I know. He goes through things. What I was trying to say with Gore the God Butcher is that could have been his own like, he could have had his own movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This one thing could have been a story. The Jane Foster and Thor bit. Gore the God Butcher could have been a story. And then, you've even got that start bit. I know it's only for 5 or 10 minutes, but that Guardians of the Galaxy / Thor, that could have been its own movie as well.
Yeah.
It was just a bunch of we got all these ideas, let's just throw them together.
The Guardians of the Galaxy stuff was
top tier trash.
It made me irritated to watch Thor. Like,
a dumb idiot.
Yeah, because...
Yeah. Not even the Guardians of the Galaxy are dumb. Like, they're funny and they're silly, but they're not dumb idiots.
But they weren't being dumb idiots.
No, but that vibe in first scene was dumb idiot stuff.
It was so... And Thor, I mean, I guess you can say it's, because of things he went through or whatever, that he's overcompensating and making all these jokes and making it like, playing into the fact that, everyone needs me and like I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy.
I'm bubbly.
Whatever. But yeah, it was just too irritating to watch.
Here's where you lose the Thor character, right? So Thor Ragnarok was we talked about this previously. Ragnarok was the perfect mix of humor and like Thor just straight up doing Thor things, right? Being serious, being not intimidating.
A bit more insightful as well.
Maybe a little bit more insightful. I think he lost a bit of his insight in Ragnarok, more so compared to Thor 1 and 2.
Yeah. Well, Thor 1 and 2, he was like Victorian English.
He was Victorian English, which, look, I would prefer that in amongst... Because I think that's funny if that's in amongst all the craziness.
Yeah.
He's just doing Victorian English.
The thing is, his character has changed so much over the course of the MCU.
Yeah.
Like, at that start, he was serious. Mans was just there for business.
Yeah.
He was like, I got this hammer and all of you are nails. And that's it. But now it's like, Mjolnir, baby. I'm sorry. I love you. Oh, no, don't worry, Stormbreaker. I love you too.
We talked about this in the Ragnarok one, but I think there's a bit when he's versing the Hulk in Ragnarok, and the Hulk just starts pounding his face in. Like Thor gets zapped, and then the Hulk starts pounding his face in. I think from that moment you see the entire personality change of Thor. I think man's brain was like, put through a washing machine and it coming out as what we got here.
That was it.
The other issue that I have with this Thor is his weapons, not just the fact that, Mjolnir and Stormbreaker are like sentient and they're upset that he has relationships with both of them. But the fact that, I don't know if this was present in the other ones, But Stormbreaker, when he's running with Stormbreaker, it looks like a toy.
Does it?
It doesn't look like it has any weight to it.
Yeah, because it's so big and it doesn't.
Yeah, and I know that he's the strongest man or whatever, right? You know,
Yeah,
he's Russell, Kurt Russell's very own, right?
Kurt Russell.
I was about to call the man's Russell Brand. I've called him everything but Kurt Russell in these last 2 episodes. I know that he is strong and it probably does feel like a toy to him, but it also then lacks the weight of its power.
Yeah, that's right. You can't show that and then him smacking people and it kind of looks a bit, not childish, but like a toy, yeah.
It looks like it's been nerfed, right?
Yeah.
Which, I mean...
It was too OP in Endgame.
Yeah. Well, remember in
Hotfix.
in Infinity War? How good that scene was when he comes in, how epic that looked?
Dude, honestly, Thor, I feel like this has kind of ruined Thor for me.
I mean, he's pretty muscular though. I mean, that's crazy. Well, how do you do that?
There's no way that's natural.
I mean, it can't be. Right?
It can't be. Bro, Zeus, you know, flick the clothes off the man's.
There's muscles that I don't think exist in other people.
Because he's got that Arnold Schwarzenegger build, that like fairly small waist, and then dude just got like a backpack on. A backpack of muscles.
On the front and back.
On the front and back.
Dude, that was crazy. When Zeus whipped off his clothes, that was funny enough that he was whipped off too many clothes. And then you've got like R.I.P. Loki on his back tattooed. What kind of dumb idiot stuff is that?
But kind of, if you're looking at it like we are now, that's hilarious.
I mean,
the problem is it was in the midst of everything. This was the same reason that I disliked Age of Ultron, because there was just jokes everywhere.
Yeah. Same thing as Endgame, man. Unfortunately, they've fallen into that.
Endgame?
Yeah, Endgame, I feel that had too many jokes.
No, I don't think so.
Endgame was like this, right? Let me tell you about Endgame. Endgame was like Robert Downey Jr. Like, oh, I'm so skinny and like I just almost died in space and I hate everyone. Is that a Build-A-Bear? Oh, man, I'm so sad. Like, that's what Endgame was.
Yeah, but I don't think there were too many jokes.
There was too many jokes. You go back and watch Endgame, like Thanos is choking out some guy and everyone's like, bro, did you call him daddy? And they're like, what? You know, they're saying that, like throwing it, you know?
I didn't get that one.
Yeah, man. That's one of them. That's in the deleted scenes, though.
That's wild.
So I think that the first half of this movie leading up to Good Life Health Clubs, I don't go there anymore.
The heck out.
I mean, I'm still paying for it, but I just don't go.
But like in the new year, you'll go.
Yeah. Like January 1st, I'll go.
Yeah.
Because I've got resolutions to keep.
You got to show up.
Yeah, I got to show up. And I got to show out.
Resolution? Check.
Yeah.
Resolved.
So the first half of this movie, almost like incoherent.
Yeah.
There's just too much going on. Those goats, man, that's 10 years too late. Like the goats came out when Taylor Swift released the Red album.
What goats?
You know, the screaming goats that
Where were they?
Don't you remember? Like,
oh, that was like a meme.
That was a meme, the screaming goats from like when we were in high school.
That's wild.
We were in high school when screaming goats are hilarious.
Yeah. There was just too much. There was too much. And I almost feel like Taika Waititi, because he did Thor Ragnarok, and that was what some would say too much given the previous Thor and even most of the Marvel movies. I mean, the only one that was similar was Guardians.
I mean, the Mario movies as well. You said Marvel, but you almost said Mario.
Did I?
Yeah.
When you said Mario, I thought, I said Mario. Anyway, the Mario movies. I mean,
Chris Pratt's in both of them. So
Chris Pratt's in both of them. But the Marvel movies. So I feel like he almost was. I don't know if he was pushed to do something even wilder, or in himself he was just like, I've got to do it bigger.
Yeah.
I've got to do it bigger than the last one, because the last one was big, but this one's got to be even bigger.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it just missed, bro.
I wonder if because he's a funny dude. If you've seen What We Do in the Shadows, if you've seen
Korg.
I mean, if you've seen Korg, there's another movie that he does that I've seen and is hilarious. But anyway, he knows how to make like good humor.
I mean, Thor Ragnarok is.
I mean, Thor Ragnarok is peak humor in the MCU.
Yeah.
But I do agree that he either went too far or he was pushed to be like, you got to make this hilarious. People wanting this to be as hilarious.
Yeah.
And they lost it.
Do have Thor do Van Damme splits, bro.
I mean, that was pretty funny to me. because I wasn't expecting him to do Van Damme splits.
Yeah.
But like Van Damme would do it, but I didn't know that Thor would do it.
I didn't like it.
Here's the other thing that I want to talk about in regards to this movie being in two parts.
Yeah.
So I think the second part of this movie, so after they do that fight scene on Omnipotency,
Yeah.
and they leave,
What do they do after that?
they go to the
Oh, that's right. They go to
dark planet,
the Shadow Realm
Shadow
or whatever.
Realm. Yeah.
Yeah, with Yugi.
With Yugi.
Kaiba. And Red Eyes, the Darkness Dragon. They got Red Eyes Black Dragon or whatever.
Yeah, bro. They had to like get the graveyard. Remember that mammoth, that woolly mammoth
Oh,
card?
yeah, Mammoth Graveyard?
Yeah, bro.
Far
They
out.
had to
That's
get
got
one
like
of those.
1,500 attack, I reckon.
I think that just gets someone from the graveyard, doesn't it?
No, it's a monster.
Oh. Well, I mean, Dark Magician will do it as well, but like, you know, that's just what it is.
It's just what it is.
So from that part onwards, I actually enjoyed this movie, and I'll tell you why. Because it showed what this movie could have been, because I think the jokes were not necessarily shot completely down there, because there was still that scene where Jane Foster tells Thor that she's got cancer. But once they got onto that shadow planet, I feel that the jokes were decreased significantly.
It was the business end of the movie.
There was a sense of urgency in that part of the movie.
Yeah, like the first part of the movie was the mullet,
Yeah.
and this was just this is the business.
This is the business at the front. They switched it around.
They switched it around.
Yeah. Which, I mean, look, it's never been done before.
Like they got mullet at the front.
That's exactly right.
You never seen a front mullet before.
Oh, man. Like, they call them drapes because, like, you can't see through them. But when they got onto that shadow planet, I thought that was such cool. Like, it was black and white. They stepped onto the planet, and then when, like, Mjolnir came out, there was just that speckle of light that you could see, and you could see the color of Jane Foster's suit.
I liked when they were in the place where Gore was situated. I also thought it was going to be like we're back in some like replicable? No, like a duplicate or like a copy of something, because it looked like a facility. It looked like almost kind of for the first thing that I thought was, this is where Thor's hammer landed on Earth the first time, and they held all the facility, hey bro, this is Area 51.
Yeah, that'd be wild.
That kind of thing. And I thought there was going to be some throwback to that. But even though it wasn't, that whole scene was amazing.
That was cool.
Because Jane Foster's out there and she's like, it's the
Stormbreaker.
The Stormbreaker.
And she just chucks it into space. The cool thing about that scene is I don't know if you could say it's the art style of it, because you've got Zeus's bolt, you've got Stormbreaker, you've got Mjolnir, and you see those colors like when they do those long shots, and you just see the planet, and you can't really see what they're doing, but you see those colors like flash through. I thought that was really cool. But again, it was done. These cool things were done too late in a movie that was stupid leading up to it.
Yeah. From
then on, obviously, Gore the God Butcher gets Mjolnir, but I really enjoyed from then it being just like a fun movie about let's just get kids involved in this and have fun with kids.
Yeah, I don't know how I felt about that.
I enjoyed that scene where he gives them all the power.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was amazing, but I don't know how I feel about that being in a movie and them, these are children, and we're now like just giving them the power to fight all these heads, which I enjoy. Like I said, I enjoyed the actual scene of it.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure how I feel about that as a part of the movie.
The reason that I liked that bit was because, really, although this movie had some heavy themes, really these are kids' movies.
Yeah.
And same as Star Wars, really they're kids' movies. They're made to sell toys, and they're made to, to make cartoons and video games. So,
which in saying that, there was a lot of shit. They said that a few times in this movie.
Oh, I mean, you saw a spear go through a man's chest.
Yeah.
And he was getting fed grapes by ladies. This is not necessarily.
Yeah, no, we're talking about orgies.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a kids' movie, but they are indirectly they're directly marketed as kids. But.
Yeah. So I think that last scene was just fun.
Yeah.
Of them fighting, and also the scene in which the Gore's daughter comes back and she's just doing Thor things.
We could talk about that after.
I thought that was hilarious.
Talk about that after. But the Yeah, when the kids started, I wish they'd play "We Are the Kids of America" like the Jimmy Neutron song. That's all I was
I don't
thinking.
think that's Jimmy Neutron. I think that's what's it called.
No, it's another song,
Yeah.
but it was in the Jimmy Neutron movie.
No, isn't that from that movie where it's like Meet the Robinsons?
Yeah, I think it can only be in one movie, bro.
I think it's Meet the Robinsons.
It's not. I haven't seen Meet the Robinsons.
Yeah, that's one with like, it's like there's dinosaurs got to
I
happen.
haven't seen that movie because it's on my list on Disney Plus because I haven't seen it before.
You press like, put this on my list?
Yeah,
Oh, well, you haven't seen Meet the Robinsons.
it's in Jimmy Neutron. I'm telling you,
Is it like Jimmy Neutron, like the movie?
the movie.
Okay.
The movie. They've got all their spaceships that they've ragtagged together. Actually, Jimmy Neutron's done all the work.
Yeah, well,
He's put together all
he's the boy genius.
I mean, you seen that man's head? Bro,
There's
there's
a lot of
about
brain
3
in there.
brains in there,
There's a lot of brain in there.
and that's the movie. But yeah, no, that was fun. Gore still, man. The way I wish that he was
Developed more?
what?
Developed more in this movie?
No, in terms of his fighting style, I wish he was one of those characters that just, he gets hit, but he's back up. Like, he doesn't actually get hit down.
He just gets knocked back.
He just gets knocked
backwards.
back and he does some crazy thing. He's like in the shadows, then he's out of the shadows.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, I'm here.
Yeah. That would be pretty cool.
I would, because he had that kind of vibe to him.
Well, he was very serpent-like as
Yeah.
well. So you feel like he'd get hit and then he just back at him, But I think that Gore the God Butcher, I mean, you have Christian Bale, one of the
Bale.
GOAT tier actors, and you give him maybe 8 minutes of screen time. I mean, it was more than that, but really, like his screen time of him doing Christian Bale
doing
things,
character things.
that was
Good life, bro. Get the hell out of our podcast.
I know
I'll do my squats later, bro.
that was a major letdown. You have this Christian Bale, you have a great actor in there. You have a villain who, again, Marvel have not been the best at doing good villains.
Cool villain, but
right? Or at least not using cool villains.
yeah.
Like we saw with Ultron. The good thing is Gore didn't do like, that's a Build-A-Bear, And I know that's the only joke that I can think of, but like if Gore the God Butcher said it, I would have probably thrown my TV out the room.
Yeah.
And put it in another room because like you shouldn't really have TVs in your bedroom for like sleep hygiene.
That's right. So Gore would actually be doing you a favor.
So there's apparently deleted scenes because this movie was cut down tremendously.
It's like an hour of deleted scenes.
One of the deleted scenes I don't think is that everyone was like, this is such a powerful deleted scene. It's Gore the God Butcher. Scar like ripping off the he had those tattoos on his head that like represented his god. He like rips them off with his he scars them or whatever. Which I didn't think I mean that's neither here nor there. But what there could have been is more Gore the God Butcher like talking to folk. Especially talking
the Gore Butcher.
Yeah, good Gore Butcher.
Good God Butcher, bro.
Good God.
Good God. I think for his story, he needed, and especially for the whole theme of the movie and being love, there needed to be more of him and his daughter.
So then you actually see a reason why he
Well,
wants
because
to-
it just happens like they're just in the desert, she dies, and then 15 meters away he sees an oasis.
which is wild to me.
And
Like,
and
men
that's
didn't see
it. And then the
before.
dude's like, "Ha ha ha, we don't care about you." And it's like it's so artificial.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like in this, world that would happen.
Yeah. I think that if they didn't have that part where he was like, haha, we don't, like the God was there and said, oh, we don't actually care about you.
He was too jovial.
He was very jovial. I think if Gore the God Butcher was like, said something and he got cursed with the, what was that thing called?
The necro sword.
The necro sword. And then he was like, you know what? I don't even know if this God exists, but I'm going after any God that I can just
Yeah.
to take him out.
I don't
But we
have
needed
the,
more development than just being like, oh, I'm in the desert. Oh, I'm so sweaty. Oh my God. Now the sweat is
He
dried
didn't
up.
even look sweaty, bro.
Because the sweat dried up because you're in the desert.
That's the desert. But yeah, he for it to be a major plot point of the movie, being like, choose love
Yeah.
at the end. Choose love, bro. No one remembered that because it wasn't powerful enough to stick in someone's memory for even an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah. And you're right. It's like he hasn't been told at all throughout the movie to be like, or he hasn't stopped and said like, oh man, who am I doing this for? Am I doing it for me? Am I doing it for my child? it only gets said at the very end when Thor's like, I'm doing this for love and Build-A-Bears. And then he goes to like Jane Foster.
Oh, man.
Because he's jokes all the time now.
Oh, man.
You know? Like when his dad died, he was like, oh, bro, I'm joking about this.
Bro, he looked like a Build-A-Bear at some point in his career.
But yeah, no, I reckon it could have been done.
Can't go to Build-A-Bear with my dad anymore.
I enjoyed the last half of this movie though.
Yeah.
Because it was the most fun, but also like when those kids, like when that kid was like, had a teddy bear and was just like, that was so funny.
Some of the kid fighting scenes were really good.
Yeah. And also, you know, you have such a cool idea of having Mjolnir being like separating into like multiple rocks.
Oh, man.
And you don't take advantage
Let's
of
just
that
talk about
the movie.
Dr. Jane Foster for a bit.
This should have been a Dr. Jane Foster movie.
It should have been, that's right, it should have been more of her. Because also you barely see her and then she dies and then it's meant to be this big thing.
I know. And she dies in battle, so she goes to Valhalla.
That's right. But it was just, well, technically she didn't die in battle.
Well,
She had a battle and then she died. Like he said that to Sif.
That's true. Which, oh man. Sif is apparently a jovial, joking character in this movie.
Everyone is, bro.
Yeah, but
Haha, Build-A-Bear.
Yeah, I know. She's like, oh my God, I'm dying in Valhalla and whatnot. Oh, Build-A-Bears. Oh, yeah. And then she dies. But she doesn't actually die. She just comes back with one arm.
Yeah.
I'm annoyed about that. You have one of the coolest characters as well. And then she's a joke. And you use her for like 2 minutes.
The only character that I think, well, actually, no, Jane Foster was pretty good overall.
Yeah.
She had jokes, but it was like her catchphrase. But that felt very almost authentic.
Yeah.
But the only other one was Tessa Thompson.
Yeah. Well,
I think she was great in this movie, apart from when they gave her the, hey, you got to shake this person's hand and you got to do this king thing and you got to do this king thing, which they just put in there, I think, to illustrate later when she was saying like, oh, I don't really like this. I just want to fight and whatever.
Yeah. Was that a comedic bit?
Yeah, it was a comedic. Well, I don't know about comedic bit, but it was.
I might have been looking out the window at that point.
It was not a large portion of the movie.
Right, okay.
But she was a top tier character.
She was great, but also her comedy didn't fall too far from her character.
No, that's right.
She wasn't talking about Build-A-Bears like everyone else was.
She wasn't. Bro, everyone was talking about Build-A-Bear.
Everyone was talking about, and like
you're talking about sponsorships. Build-A-Bear, that's sponsorship.
That's sponsorship for us.
Sponsorships.
Jane Foster, the reason that she was authentic is because if you had Mjolnir and you're just jacked now and you're throwing things around, you're going to be saying like catchphrases. You're going to be trying to work it out on the fly,
That's
right?
right.
Because she's literally a superhero that's just started her journey.
I wish we got a bit of an origin story for her.
Now she's gone.
We never heard. I do like who someone called her Lady Thor.
Yeah.
And then that's where it was like, I'll take Mighty Thor or Dr. Jane Foster, and that was probably my favorite bit in the movie.
I can't remember what that was. Was that in the Omnipotency?
I don't know. I think it was when she was fighting Gore.
Right.
At some point. I can't remember.
Also, her suit was killer.
Oh, her suit was killer. Thor's suit was trash.
It didn't look right, did it?
Every single one looked like it didn't fit properly.
Yeah. The only cool one was like, the only thing that I liked was when he was wearing like the biker jacket. And that was in amongst the scene, which I didn't like.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like
But
that
you know what?
either.
This movie is like a solid 4.
Yeah. I have to say, objectively, it's not a good movie, but I still enjoyed the movie.
I enjoyed the back half a lot. That's where the 4 comes from.
Yeah, maybe that's why I left enjoying the movie. Because, yeah. I think, yeah, the whole thing about the whole movie being about love, there was not enough to build that up.
Yeah.
You know, and there was that scene where they were at Eternity and Gore's getting his daughter back and Thor's losing Jane Foster, Dr. Jane Foster, if you will.
If you will. And
That was such a light scene which should have been heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Because you were just like, okay, yeah, all right, next, what's happened next?
It's like, oh, take my daughter. Oh my God. I'm
Take my
dying.
daughter. Oh, Dr. Jane Foster.
Oh my God,
Oh,
sprinkles.
your dust. Yeah. It was just.
No.
Also, how the hell are they going to say, bro, no one's found eternity before?
Seems pretty easy to find.
And then Gore goes there. Thor's like, I'm going to eternity. All right, see you guys. I'm here.
He's there. Well, I mean, did he go there or did he just get put there?
I don't know.
Like, did he like, you're saying he went to eternity?
Yeah.
Thor did.
Well, no, he went to the place where they opened Eternity with Stormbreaker.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying.
So unless, he had a homing device that find my friends.
Stormbreaker can go anywhere, right?
Well, realistically, Stormbreaker probably had Find My Friends.
Find My Friends.
And Thor had Find My Friends.
That's true.
And they found each other.
Well, I mean, he didn't have Stormbreaker at that point anyway.
No, that's what I mean.
Stormbreaker had Find My
had
Friends.
the Find My Friends app.
Locations.
And Thor had Find My Friends app. And he's like, oh, bro, he's here.
Yeah,
Eternity.
like send location.
Send location.
The other thing that you could this is one of the reasons why I was saying before there was some parts that you could tell that this movie has been cut. When they're on the Shadow Realm, this just reminded me of when you talked about Stormbreaker, and everyone's like in serpent things, like they're all tied up, and Jane Foster's getting choked out, and then Thor brings back Stormbreaker, and then the scene just shifts completely, and they're just out like on the planet, and they're like, where is he? There was literally a cut in which I do remember
Stormbreaker
that. Comes back, and then they're just ready to fight him, but there's no in between. There's no them escaping the clutches of the serpents. There's none of that. There's just like, hey, I'm here, then I'm there.
That was it. Also, a few more things we've got to talk about. Matt Damon and Sam.
I mean, that was funny.
That was hilarious.
And Chris Hemsworth's brother.
That was hilarious. The actual play that they did, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
But also, when the kids get stolen, and then Matt Damon's like, should we make a play for this? I didn't hear no.
Yeah. Doesn't he go up to like Tessa Thompson? He's like, yeah, should we make a play? And then they start like writing it up. Yeah. That was hilarious.
That was hilarious. And also, the little girl, that end bit with Thor making pancakes, saying, put on your shoes, like, you don't go telling me that your feet hurt. That was hilarious.
That was great. I love that.
That was hilarious.
And because you think they're going to school.
You think they're going somewhere. Do you think they're going somewhere that's not fighting all these heads?
Yeah. But that was good. And I liked the ending, that heartwarming thing of like, this is Love and Thunder.
Yeah. That was cool. I feel like he could have done so much better. And I feel like Taika Waititi has it in him.
Oh, yeah. I think that this, well, here's the thing. Marvel are just trying to shoot out movies.
Yeah.
Out the wazoo. And it's been talked about, we've seen it with the special effects artists coming out and saying, these people are literally crushing us to the bone, expecting us to bring out these products.
Because they have a release date. They go, this is the release date. This is what we're going to do because the next one has to come out and then the next one.
Well, remember how long Endgame took to come out? Right? 10 years of films. And I know that they were just starting up, so they were like, we got to progress this. The next big thing, whatever it is, Kang versus the Avengers or whatever, that's coming out like in 2024. That's 2 years.
Is that the big one?
That's the big one.
Kang the Conqueror.
It's like Avengers
1 and 2. Is that the dude from, what's it called?
From Loki.
Is that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know it's awesome, but also
stuff that up.
But also it's going to be like how these people, one, the actors are just doing movies after movies, which isn't as hard because they're in this void most of the time.
Yeah.
Which then the effects artists have to make these entire planets and things from this void. But then you're just crushing these people who are probably getting paid, like out of 250 million, they're probably not getting paid millions.
No, that's right.
I mean, collectively they're probably getting paid millions. But in the grand scheme of things, they're probably getting paid in the G's, right?
Jeez.
Like Kevin Feige takes off his hat, he throws a G at the bloke, puts his hat back on.
From under his hat.
Because at this point, Kevin Feige's got like G's under there.
Bro, he's got G's under there.
I think this is the period in which DC can really make their resurgence, and they're not doing a good job of it. Because like the next movie coming out is going to be The Rock, but I'm a superhero.
Oh, you know what annoyed me? Which is not specific to this movie, but I saw, Greenlight Comics, Jedi Greenlight Comics. They had New Comic Book Day on Thursday.
They got comics.
And there was a Black Adam comic, and it had The Rock as
the character.
The movie cover.
Yeah.
If you haven't got The Rock, the movie man, in the comic, don't put it on the cover.
But it wasn't him? Are you sure? Like you didn't look into the book and it was like the character looks like The Rock's character?
No, but it was the realist, like it was a photo of the. That's what I don't like because I know that's not going to be in there.
No, I know that, but that's to sell it to like kids.
I know. Nah, that's the worst.
I got a Black Adam comic book for you. And it's like I'm The Rock.
No, that's the worst. Also, there was a The Rock reference in this.
Was it?
Yeah, at the end, Korg has a kid with another Korg.
Oh, Dwayne.
And it's Dwayne, and he's got the moustache like in the The Rock's dad.
What is the baby called Dwayne?
No, I don't know.
I think the man was called Dwayne.
I think the man was called Dwayne, but he had the same mustache that I've seen on either the Rock or the Rock's dad.
I don't know if
100%.
I mean, it could have been. It could have definitely.
The
been.
man's called Dwayne.
Someone's called Dwayne,
He's called Dwayne.
and he's Dwayne the Rock,
That was hilarious.
and he has a Big Johnson.
I also didn't. I wasn't really vibing with the whole narration thing.
Yeah, I don't think
didn't
it
like
was,
the narration.
but it did come together nicely at the end. I think that end bit with narration came in. But you can't do that without having all the rest.
Because the beginning was such a mess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
Also, why does it look like he's in some like post-apocalyptic world when he's narrating?
Don't know.
I thought that was going to be something that leads to that, like, But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But you know what is here and there? The Back Catalogue podcast, which you can tell them about.
Yeah, we're everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. We're not on TikTok. We don't do TikTok anymore.
We don't really do anything.
No, you haven't posted on Instagram.
No.
We do Patreon. Like that's coming out still.
That's
Shout out all our Patrons.
Yeah. You got the names?
I don't have the
You
names.
got them to get the names.
I gotta get the names for the Patreon episode. We'll shout them out there.
Why would you shout them out there?
All right, fine. I'll get the names. Hold on.
This man's talking about I'm going to shout them out on the place that they pay for. I shout them out here.
All right.
There's not even that many people. There's like 4 people.
Yeah, I know, but I want to get them all.
Bro, there used to be heads as well. There used to be heads, but like, check-ins and savings, all sorts of issues.
Heads? Bro, we've got heads. Dude, we've got heads. All right, ready? I'll tell you the Patreon heads. All right, shout outs to the Patrons. Bro, it's giving me the app. Continue with Google. No, that's the wrong one. Crap. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Man, come on now.
I can't do it, bro.
Come on. All right, Vincent, just tell them where they can find us and we'll get out.
No, I'm doing it. All right. You mother flipper. Nah, forget this. All right, so
yeah, you got
from memory. Also, here's a nice
memory.
photo of Rafael Nadal.
Yeah, that featured in the last episode.
Yeah. Phil.
Phil's gone, man.
Phil's not gone.
Phil's not gone. Card didn't decline.
Huh?
Card didn't decline.
Card didn't decline.
I think the card declined, man.
No, bro, I'm telling you.
Phil's back.
We got 6 Patrons, all right?
Dude,
6
Phil's
Patrons.
back. Phil's back.
Phil's back.
Dude, that's wild. Phil's back. That's Dr. Feelgood right there.
That's Dr. Feelgood. We got David.
David, yeah.
We got Stewie.
We
got Jack. David, Stewie, Jack, Phil.
That's all we got.
Frankie. We got Frankie and we got someone else.
Dude, I don't know where you're getting these names from. I don't think we got someone else.
I'm telling you, bro.
I think cards are declined, man.
Come on, man. I need advice. We got Jack. Did I already say that?
I think you did, but like, don't shout out people like who aren't paying anymore.
I'm telling you, these people
just shout
are
out
paying.
people. Just shout them out.
Dude,